What's up, everyone? Welcome to Baseball 4 Podcast, episode 26 here. Gus Rico, welcome back, everyone. I know we took a little break. Dodgers got in the way, but we're back. To my left, co-host Andy Lira.
Yeah, welcome back. We had to skip a week for the Dodgers. What a great time. What a great series. Great parade. We were there at Dodger Stadium to see that. So, but welcome back. Once we get through updates, we'll introduce our great guest here.
Yes, sir. So, Braves updates real quick. We got demo day yesterday and today. We back at practice now. A little windy out there, but our boys got the demo day done, and today's day 2 of demo day. Rawlings and Easton out there selling gloves and selling bats, actually, which is pretty good. Our players test out the bats. If they like it, they'll get to purchase it right there and then. And we got some teams going to Vegas this weekend. 9U Navy, Coach Sam and Coach Lou, and our 13U Silvers heading out to Vegas as well with Coach Ed and Coach Felipe. Safe travels to you guys, and go represent well. We also got a couple of teams in perfect game this weekend out in Huntington Beach, and we got some teams out in USSSA with Jeremy Huffman out in Camarillo. He just sent out an email that as of right now, we are good to go. I know the fires are what's going on out there, but we're good to go. Any new update, we'll let you guys know. Stay tuned. Shout out to the wife and kids. My dad, the real MVP out there, taking the kids to school. And the kids better be getting their homework done out there. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And that goes to everybody, all the kids out there. Good grades get you far in life, trust me.
Shout out to our Braves coaches holding it down at our practices. Shout out to our Braves players, our Braves parents. And we're almost done here with the year, 2024. Kobe year.
Yeah, it's starting to be the holidays. So, we'll tell you now and every week, happy holidays as well. And also here, we got a great guest here to my left that we would go and introduce, and he's going to explain and do everything himself. But it's going to be good to understand what he does and where he's came from and what he's accomplished. So to my left here, we have Cesar Martinez.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. I appreciate it. I follow you guys. I watch you guys. Great guests, great people, and train some of your kiddos, the academy, the Braves. Shout out to the parents, are amazing when they come and see me. And just thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, man. Thanks for coming. Shout out to my brother for making it happen.
Right.
I know we were supposed to have it. Right we were supposed to have it a couple weeks ago, but I think where we ended up at the parade, right? Or we said the parade got in the way.
Parade, World Series. It all happens. And then obviously my schedule as well. So it's about connecting when the time is right.
Correct. Yeah.
No, thanks for coming. And I know you're down the street, right?
Right here, right down the street.
Even better.
Lassen and Reseda, out of my house, I train, and close by, baby. Yeah.
And you have your own podcast, too.
I have a podcast called Can't Be Broken, started about 2.5 years ago.
Nice.
It's about overcoming adversity in any which way and telling stories, bringing guests on. Then I have an episode that I do on my own. It's called Sea Monster Mindset, which is just a mentality thing. I talk about different topics in regards to overcoming adversity, to anything from baseball and the tools you need to get to the next level. But it's a blast. It's fun, and it's fun having guests on.
Yeah.
Because I learn from them, I grow from them, and they bring out great information of their experiences. But yeah, check it out. Can't Be Broken.
Can't Be Broken, everyone.
Yeah, go check that out.
All right, Cesar. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I know you're a Valley guy.
Valley, yeah, North Hollywood, 818.
Yeah, 818. Oh yeah, definitely a Valley guy.
Yeah,
Come on now.
Yeah. Well, I was born in Mexico, in Chihuahua.
Okay.
And Dad decided to try to make a better lifestyle for us, better opportunities, and I got here when I was about 3 years old. Grew up right where the North Hollywood police station's at. Okay. That used to be a baseball field. Right off the 170 freeway, there's an exit right there. That's where the North Hollywood Police Station. So we lived right across the street by Colfax and Burbank. And that was my first organized baseball. My dad said, hey, I need you to do something. And we walked across the street and started playing baseball in jeans and whatever it was, We moved from there to in between Burbank and Oxnard on Cahuenga, where my mom still lives in a single-bedroom apartment, and played parochial ball at St. Patrick's. And then just kind of, I was really good at hand-eye coordination stuff and just was really developed. There was no instruction or nothing. My dad didn't play ball. Had an older brother who played pro ball with the Padres, went to Pepperdine and whatnot, but we didn't have no instruction. You just kind of pick it up, and move forward. You know, the values that your dad instills in you kind of just wants you to be better, and I always wanted to be better than my brother. Move forward, I played at Toluca Lake, which I met some really great guys when we played against Encino.
Nice.
And move over to Encino and met really great families, and they offered me an opportunity to play at Notre Dame. Got a scholarship there to play at Notre Dame. We went far to the championship game one year. Didn't win at Long Beach State, and then that progressed into getting a Division I scholarship at CSUN. Had several offers to play. I mean, obviously, I'm a short grommet, 5'7", 5'8", right? And my baseball card are in the thing, 5'9", right? But you know, being a small guy,
5'10" with cleats.
yeah, exactly, the high cleats. You know?
Yeah.
But to be honest, you know, it was a blessing to be small. You know, people look at it as a negative, but you always got to look at yourself in a different perspective and say, God gave me what I have right now, and I got to use the best of it. And so, being small made me a grinder. You know, made me want things more and be better and to be accepted with the bigger guys that threw harder, ran faster, or whatnot. And so I created really good work ethic. I ended up going to see some because my parents were getting divorced. My brother was playing pro ball out in Iowa, a minor league ball with the Padres, and it was my sister and my mom, and the earthquake just happened. So I had some opportunity to leave, which I wanted to, you know, the college experience, but I ended up making a great decision in hindsight, staying at CSUN with the great baseball coach of Mike Batesel, who just retired, went to Fresno, won a championship.
Okay.
But I also played amongst some greats, Adam Kennedy, Robert Fick, Robert Crabtree, Eric Gillespie, you know, several people. One of my best friends, who was the best friend or the best man at my wedding, we're still friends now. A pitcher by the name of Juan Velasquez. He was a coach and now is the athletic director at Campbell Hall. And it's just an amazing, like growing up in the Valley. You guys grew up in the Valley, right?
Yeah.
It's a small but very, very talented pool.
Absolutely.
And you meet great people, and you understand the hustle of the different schools that are so close and the competitiveness. And I love that. And so staying home in hindsight was the best thing. And I had great time, and it made me a different person. Every coach that I've had has instilled something in me that has made me who I am today, of overcoming adversity. From Division I to my little league coach of PC Shaw. I'm sure you guys know PC Shaw.
Yeah.
So PC Shaw was one of my coaches right at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Mike Batesel, and even at Notre Dame, which was still Tom Dill at that time.
Really?
It was his first year when I was a senior. Yeah.
Oh my
And he's
God.
still the coach there. So
He's been there that long.
he's been there over 30 years. Oh shit, I'm old.
Stop it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
a
kind
great
of throw a lot
story.
at you, but that's a
No,
short
that's
synopsis
perfect. That is
of where I've been.
perfect. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, all that history, you know, it's all that to come by where I just wanted to see if you know, if you still have a story from where your dad, you know, I know you talked about values that your dad instilled in you to where, like, you can remember to this day where it kind of changed you as a kid to be like, you know what, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do you have like a little story that you can kind of say where, you know what, like, this is why I did and I pursued baseball and kept going?
Yeah, I mean, my dad kept it pretty simple, and I think the simpler that you keep things, it's so much easier than complicating things. You know, it's like being in a slump. You complicate things. Just see the ball hit the ball. You know, swing out of your ass kind of deal.
Yeah.
But my dad said, you know, whenever you do anything, when you take out the trash, when you meet somebody, when you go to school, when you play baseball, do the best job you can. You know, it was very simple. It's like you go throw out the trash, you make sure that it's thrown out correctly. That you close the lid, you put it where it needs to be, and that it's out there correctly.
That is
Because if
old
not,
school.
you have to go do it again, right?
Yeah.
And so you're wasting time, more energy, and all that stuff. So if you go to practice, you do it right. You know, it was pretty simple. And so everything I did was based on that. Like, hey, you know, if I'm here, I want to make sure that I give a good representation, and that I prepare, and that I'm good, and I'm giving the best that I can here at this moment. And so I think that instilled in me at a young age. And so no matter where I went or what I did, I always said, hey, do the best you can. Like, don't half-ass anything, you know?
Yeah.
Because when you do, that's what you're going to get, one. And two, then why are you even doing it?
Right.
And then you're going to have more effort doing it twice. You go up there and you guys, you know, give a sign of a bunt, and they're half-assing because they don't want to bunt. Like, you're going to have to do it again until you get it right. Well, get it right.
Yeah.
Do it right now, you know? And so that kind of, not a big story, but just a value that he always said to me and that I still instill in my daughters.
Yeah, no, that and I asked that because it's like we deal with a lot of kids and a lot of their parents and stuff like that. So it's like it's always remarkable to hear the little stuff like that, right? Like that was very little, but it's pretty much like you take out of that is to pay attention to the details.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, like in order if you want to do something great, in order for you to accomplish something, it's not always the big stuff that you try to do great. It's always the little stuff. Because at the end of the day, when you do the little stuff, it adds up to where the big accomplishment comes from. Yeah. And I think that's where, I mean, myself, I personally love to hear those type of stories.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you kind of you relate to that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people out there watching, like you kind of the parents and all that, where it's like, hey, we don't got to complicate everything so much.
Yeah.
Make it very simple for your kids, for everybody, and then you're gonna get the result you want at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually. I mean, everybody wants to hit and field and run the bases and do all the fun stuff, but in reality, the little things, the fundamentals, the footwork, your glove positioning, and doing the little things and reading pitchers and having a good lead and understanding all that. Those are the things that get you to the the swings and the bats and all that stuff and wins championships. The little things, as we saw in the World Series. The errors come and you take advantage of that. Those are the little things. If you don't take advantage of that, you don't win a World Series right at that time. But the fundamentals, doing the right things, showing up on time, making sure that if you have an assignment of raking the mound or something like that, that's stuff that nobody wants to do, that it's done right because you're going to pitch on it. And it's going to affect how you throw at times. If you have a hole that you don't want there, you're slipping off the mound. So those little things count. Nobody really sees behind the.
That's why I didn't understand why Fat Joe was standing on the mound when he was. He
should have even been in the stadium.
I was like, what does he do? Stepping on the mound with his Timberlands?
Yeah,
get off the mound. I forgot who was throwing that game for the Yankees.
I mean, but
like,
Ice Cube did go in the batter box, but he did hit a home run. So
he did do the Freddie Freeman thing. But the importance of the little things, it's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, I can speak for our academy. Is our boys after practice, our 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, who are on the field, they already know what to do. Rake the lines, take the bases out, put the plugs in. If the bubble's up, move the bubble, tarp home plate, tarp the mound, put the bubble back on top. And they take pride in it. Pick up baseballs, put them in the ball bag. And there's times where we got to remind guys, but there is those kids out there that fight for that. Coach, you want me to get a rake? You already know where it's at. You know what I mean? And you do see those kids out there that's like. And at the high school level, I do see them that just kind of hanging out. And I told Coach Sam, we take pride in our baseballs. I can't stand losing baseballs. I can't stand seeing baseballs on the floor in the cages. I'm like, we drive around, we make our rounds, and it's like we pick up so many baseballs sometimes. I'm like, oh no. And I remember back in the days they were numbered, 1 through 40, and you're missing. Whatever baseball, it's like you got to run.
Yeah, that's how many laps you're gonna run.
That's a good one.
Yeah, nah, we really can't do that now.
No, you can't do that now.
Different time. I wish I could tell you some stories that happened at CSUN. But I think going back to that a little bit, really quick, is you guys are instilling a culture.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, of the way things should be from beginning to end, and the little things is what matters. Great. I mean, obviously you're there to practice. You're gonna hit. You're gonna field. You're gonna go through defensive. Drills and offensive stuff and bunting, but the little things. Is the tee broken? Did you put it in the right place? Did you put it away? Because if you don't put it in the right place and it gets worn out by whatever, then you don't have a tee. And it's those little things that keep the engine going and whatnot. And it's that culture of doing the right thing, just like my dad said. Just do the best you can every time you do anything. So
no doubt, for sure. So Notre Dame.
Yes.
Notre Dame. I mean, what's the difference that you see? I mean, do you follow high school baseball or sort of?
Now more because I'm in the space now, and I train people from Notre Dame. From
you had
all
the Gonzaga brothers out with you, right?
They had the Gonzagas there now in college. One's at Lewis and Clark. The other one's at Pomona.
Oh, Lewis and Clark. Yeah. NEIA.
And Luke Gallegos. Luke Gallegos was there.
One of ours.
I've had a couple people. I had a basketball girl who's now at Kalu. Okay. So I've trained a lot of different people. I've been doing this now for 10 years. I thought it was a space that there wasn't a lot going on in that space when I got into it. Okay. Everything was about, teams and travel ball, but the strength and conditioning part of it wasn't around. There wasn't, gyms were doing it and you wouldn't find trainers. And so I felt that was a space I could
Yeah.
I can tap into, and I
Yeah.
was good at, and
Yeah.
I can give back to.
So I mean, what difference do you see nowadays? I mean, back when you played at Notre Dame, CISA, and then obviously what you see now. I mean, I'm sure you hear everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the little leagues. I respect the little leagues. I respect
Yeah.
the rec balls. You know, Valley Plaza, whatever they play
Yeah.
at. But it's different now, man.
It is. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I can go back and say, oh, we're all going to say it. My generation was tough, or my generation
Yeah.
this. That doesn't matter. We're here right now. We got to embrace what we have right in front of us.
Right.
Obviously, the difference was we're at the school you played at, and you had to put up the numbers. You were getting looked at. Scouts would come and see you perform, and,
Yeah.
and schools perform in certain matchups. Now, not so much. I believe so, right? I
Right.
don't follow it as much, but it's in travel ball, right? But there's also money to be paid there. So sometimes, there's good kids out there that maybe don't have the money, and are unable to go to a showcase maybe in Arizona or San Diego or something,
Yeah.
or afford that. And I think that takes away from some talent that is talented, but financially doesn't have the means to do it.
Right.
So there could be some stuff going on there. Parents work, he can't get there. Maybe they do have the money, but he has no ride or nobody to take him.
That's crazy.
And that's unfortunate. I saw a podcast with CC Sabathia, and he said the same thing. He goes, if I was playing ball right now, I probably would have never made the bigs because of travel ball, right?
Right.
But it's also a very, very good thing. So there's pros and cons to everything. And I think the pros would be that the exposure to get picked up, play at another level, at any level, is there. The showcases are there. You're bringing everybody to one spot.
Yeah.
It's amazing what's happening, right? The talent pool is a lot better than it is at a little league, just a rec ball league. And so the higher competition you have, the better you're going to get, right? You're going to fail
No
at
doubt.
first, but then you're just going to get better. So there's a lot of pros and cons, and the con would be just that the financial means is probably what affects most. And that's based also like when SATs, they took that away because people couldn't afford to take the SAT. So now colleges are saying, well, we're not going to take that into account anymore. And that was a financial decision, So yeah, I think we're at where we're at, and
I like
people
that
need to
though.
adjust.
Hearing it from the outside.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because we get stuck on the practices and this and that. Obviously there's a fee to this, to that, but I don't. That was great.
Yeah. No, yeah. You get to see it from a outside, because a lot of times you get the stuff that you can't. You're kind of not blind to it, but you zone it out because you're in it.
Yeah.
And you're like doing it. So sometimes getting that outside view, outside perspective out the circle, it's always more value in the sense, because now you get to see the whole the picture.
Yeah.
That we don't go in. So, I mean, like you said, it's pros and cons. Like when I was growing up and all that, there was travel ball, but it wasn't as big yet.
Yeah.
You still had to go. Your high schools was very important.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know in other states, like high school's not even a thing anymore for baseball or certain things. That was
softball.
Like
Softball's
they do
huge in
travel
travel
ball
ball.
instead. That shocked me because I got little nieces and nephews out in Colorado, and that they didn't really like baseball to them. And high school wasn't that big. It was the travel ball stuff.
Yeah.
So like it's all changing, and it's going now. So, but here, that's one thing I still say, that California, especially in the Valley, they still value high school baseball.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. Now, do you not only have travel ball coming up, you have the value of high school still being there. So now you have the both of both worlds going into one.
Yeah.
And, but at the same time, it's just more of, kids kind of go and they're like, little league is kind of get left behind just because there is the travel ball.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. You can't really try to keep everything at once. Something has to suffer.
Well, there's two things too. I mean, one, you guys have a harder job, okay? And the reason is we're in this generation. Generation, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. You can't get away with things that you could back in the day, right? And you guys know that. So coaching is a lot different. And if the kids know it as well, that you can't do certain things, they're gonna try to get away with everything. So that's a hard spot. You guys have a harder coaching job than back in the day. Number two is, the parents that don't understand, that want their kids to play and level up and get better, put the money down, they pay, and they expect something for their money. And unfortunately, that's not the way it works. If he's not showing up to practice, he's not playing hard, he's not being coachable and all these different things, I don't care how much money you pay, you really don't have the right for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Right.
Maybe there should be a reality check and an awareness that my kid is not good enough for there, and he needs to get better before he goes there, which is fine. But unfortunately, there's not an awareness.
I didn't even bring
parents
Cesar in a
feel-
couple. Like this should have been episode.
Should have been number one.
Yeah.
You guys didn't know about it.
Yeah.
No, I think
No,
this,
yeah.
the parents need to be aware.
Yeah.
They just because you're giving money doesn't give you entitlement to have your kid play or be good or any of that stuff.
Right.
I don't care how much money it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like these donors that give money to schools. Hey, bro, nobody's asking you. You want to donate? Donate. It doesn't give you an extra, whatever. So, you got to earn it. At the end of the day, everything has to be earned. You know what I'm saying? And if the kid feels entitled because of the parents and the way it's going, I'm sorry, maybe it's not the right culture for you. And we wish you the best. That's it.
Amen.
But that's a hard spot. You guys are in that.
We're in
I
a
ain't in
tough
that
spot.
space. You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't want to be me. You wouldn't want to be any of us. Let me tell
I'm
you.
in a different space, which is cool,
Yeah.
and I work for myself, so I can pretty much get away with a lot of different things.
Yeah,
But,
let's hit on that.
It has changed also.
Let's hit on the strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
We get stuck. I'm gonna say we.
Yeah.
I practice and in 2 days a week, whatever, with these travel ball kids or high school kids too. And actually, our high school kids, we do have a plan for them in the fall, winter as far as working out. But for the youth level, obviously, the importance of strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
It's huge. I'm a big fan of it and staying consistent. And I love seeing our boys that are going to you on their off days.
Yeah.
Because we encourage them to hey, if you practice Monday, Wednesday, then Tuesday, Thursday, go do something that has to do with baseball or strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
So seeing them there with you, I'm glad they're doing that. But talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I follow you guys obviously, and I've been training some of your kiddos over there, which they're amazing. Mm-hmm. And how you guys have incorporated that. I know Tori. I
Tori.
met her one time a couple years ago. I took a class there. Somebody invited me for like a Thanksgiving thing, and she's an amazing person, great vibe, and that's awesome to see her in that space.
Yeah.
And you guys doing that because it's very the strength and conditioning aspect is hard, right? It's like telling people to go to the gym.
Nobody wants to do it.
What's that?
Nobody wants to do it.
Nobody wants to do it,
Yeah.
right? We talked about it, everybody wants to hit and field,
And throw hard.
Yeah, and throw hard and go to their hitting coach because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun hitting a baseball.
Right.
But nobody wants to go to the gym. Nobody wants to get in there because we're in a society right now where results are immediate. You press a button, you can know everything about the president, what he did yesterday, get information over a phone. And strength and conditioning is not like that. You're not going to see results right away. You got to put in time. You got to put in work. You got to be there, and you're going to see it later on. And so one of the things with strength and conditioning that I try to instill is it's a mentality thing. You have to embrace the suck, as they would say.
Yeah.
Right. You have to make a choice, a choice to be there, that you're not going to see the results right now,
Right.
but that it's going to benefit your skill.
Yeah, correct,
Because movement is a must, and especially in baseball and softball and in every sport, being an athlete.
yeah.
So I started Ultimate Athlete Gym, and it's to be an athlete: strength, agility, and endurance. Okay, and having these kids at a younger age learn what a squat and a proper squat is, a lunge, proper push-ups, simple plyometric stuff is important, so that when they get to the high school level and they're doing strength and conditioning there, they're not lost. They know what reps are, what certain things and movements are, and what they can push and pull. And it's kind of, starting them young. My dad started me young. You asked about my dad. We would do, push-ups to sit-ups to jumping jacks to just move. We had no weights, but we'd use the earth as our gym.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all you need. And people think they want to make it complicated, and it's not that complicated. Literally just move. Squat down, bend down, stand up, get proper movement, and it benefits their skill.
Yeah.
So.
And I think like someone in your position, not only do you give the athletes, what they look forward to when they make their journey and want to become professional athletes, because they're now working out. It's like literally a everyday thing.
Right.
But you also give the parents an understanding what it takes to be an athlete, but the journey is to become a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And if they're not willing to see it or understand it, then it's going to be hard for them to go and motivate their kids when they're in high school or in college, when they do hit the adversity that we're like going in the gym and doing all that, and you may not get a result, or you may get hurt. How are you going to deal with when you get hurt? Are you going to want to keep going, or are you going to want to stop? And I think that's where with you in the space that you're in, you're able to give these parents and also these athletes the ultimate reality and the journey that it's going to take to get through high school, through college, and professional if you ever make it that far. But it's just like when you're a kid, you don't know that, right? So then when you go into high school, you're like, I got to work out, like I have to go do all this, why or what? Why do I have to do that?
It's almost the same thing that we do with our for our academy. If we go over like relays, double cuts, first and third, defense and offense, whatever it is, we try to make sure they understand it.
Yeah.
When you get to that high school, your respective high school you go to, and they go over it, button defense, whatever, you don't, like you just said a couple minutes ago, you're not so lost. Yeah, I got this. Yeah. I know where to be on a first and or whatever I got to do. Step off. You know what I mean? Like it's so important for like with our guys because not everyone comes to Birmingham.
Right.
You know what I mean? They go wherever they go, but it's so easy to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's hard, right, to get them there, sit them there, and that's why I have small groups or private sessions. But it's a totality of being an athlete, right? Mm-hmm. There's levels to it, and people think it's just hitting and fielding, but there's food that's involved. Their health, how you take care of your body. It's your engine. You're the car. There's recovery, which is sleep or stretching out or rolling or disconnecting.
Yeah.
There's the strength and conditioning part, right? There's the skill part, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's a totality of being a full athlete, a student athlete.
Yeah.
And it's harder than being a pro athlete because pro athletes just show up, got to put in the work. They don't have to go to school.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you want to go and play college ball, D1, D2, D3, NAIA or whatnot, it's a lot of work. That's a full-time thing. You don't have time to work. You're waking up, going to school. You have study hall. You have weight room. You have practice. You do it all over again. And that's one of the things that I try to say. Hey, look, this might be uncomfortable, but get comfortable in this uncomfortable position because you're going to be putting in a lot. If you can't deal with it right now, then you're not going to cut it. You know, people are going to pass you by, especially at that level, because people want to be there.
You got to be able to face adversity.
Be able to face adversity, and overcome it and go through it and say, what am I going to do right here? And you got to walk through it.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah. And I'm talking about adversity. It's one thing that I love to do is always I talk about the mama mentality. I know everybody kind of clowns me, and everybody kind of like, why you keep talking about it and all that. But that's the reason is just because it's the reality.
We're back.
With guys like this, like I gotta keep going, and no matter what, as much as I get clowned, I keep pushing it.
That's right.
But the reason is too is just because like it's at the end of the day, like you've talked about, it's a mentality.
Yeah.
And in order for you to get through all this and get through it, you have to have a mentality to be like, through the ups and downs, I got to keep going. Yeah. I kind of ask, when did you in your athletic position, but even now as a trainer, when did you go through where it's like, you know what, I got to turn on that mentality, or I got to get through this because it's getting a little tough right now.
Yeah.
Because, I feel like we can relate, not only as athletes can relate, but people that are coaching and doing that stuff, because we do hit adversity ourselves, even though people don't think we do, we do.
Yeah, don't let the blue light fool you on this thing. It's called hydrogen water.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys ever drink hydrogen water?
No, that's
I'm
probably
getting
too
text
healthy.
messages right now. Like, what is?
Oh, really?
It's probably too healthy.
Basically throwing off electrical things into this water, breaking down the H2 into smaller molecules, so your body can absorb it, and then inflammation's less, and then you get hydrated quicker and whatnot.
Really?
So I try to drink it out of glass, and you can see it's doing its thing right now. It's just smaller particles.
might have to get one of those.
Oh, they're cool, man. You'll chase the water and you'll taste the difference.
You're telling me the Kirkland water from Costco is not.
It's good. Just put it in one of these. I do like the Kirkland
So
water.
it's just any water
Goes in there and then look, you can see.
That's pretty
It's
dope.
already just doing its bubble thing.
Yeah, I might have to see
we
where
gotta
we can get one of
level
those.
up.
Right, yeah.
We gotta level up.
Not like I'm an affiliate or have a brand that I'm shouting out to or anything.
Hey, we got
It's just
coaches
hydrogen
giving
water.
coming up. You can.
There you go.
I got you.
Hey, you got me, Simon?
Growing up, I humbly, I want to say that I was pretty good in baseball, right? Pretty good that I moved forward to Notre Dame, and I could have gone to North Hollywood like my brother and my sister did, but I was fortunate to go to Notre Dame and all that. So through a young age, I was kind of just really good and really, really good, and there was never really a lot of adversity. And it wasn't until I got to college, actually, I went to a JC before I went to CSUN, And my coach, Bob Lafrano, I got there. Yeah, Lafrano, love Lafrano.
Nice.
My brother had gone there and then got a scholarship to Pepperdine under Andy Lopez the year after they won the College World Series. And I thought I'm just going to walk in there. My brother went here. He knows who I am. I'm coming from Notre Dame. And he put me in left field because I'd played a little bit of left field. He brings me in. He goes, "You're not a left fielder." He goes, "What position else did you play?" And I'm like, "Well, I played some third base." Puts me at third base. He goes, "You're too small. You're not a power hitter. You're not a third baseman. You're a second baseman. Go to second base." I never played second in my life. And he puts me at second base, and I can't turn a double play efficiently. And I knew I could hit, and I wasn't the fastest guy. I didn't have the strongest arm. So during fall ball, he has 2 meetings, one-on-one meetings. And the first meeting he says, "Hey, kid, I know your brother. It's all that. Everything's great, but you have a choice. You can redshirt, or you can go to another school and play because you're not going to start here." And I was like, holy shit, what happened to this great career I had going on? And I was supposed to elevate and probably get drafted and all these different things. And he just crushed my dreams. And I remember I had a VW bug and I was living with my brother in Negura. And I was in my VW bug just crying, and emotionally just distraught of embarrassment more than anything of like my family and my dad. And like, how did I get here, right?
Right.
And I ended up calling a buddy of mine who was a teammate, but also went to Notre Dame by the name of Chris Levesque. And I said, "Hey, bro, this is my choices." And he goes, "You have one more choice." And I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "You can fight for it, bro.
Yep.
You can fight for your position and work hard and let it go where it goes, right?" I said, "You're 100% right." So the following day, I showed up and I was the first one on the field early, like 30 minutes early. And I would have a player, "Hey, man, can you show up early and feed me double play balls?" I called the buddy who was playing up at San Francisco State. I said, "This weekend, can you come down and teach me?" I ended up working on stealing, like getting a better lead, reading stuff, like the little things that we talk about.
Right.
And when I would get a shot, when we'd play some of these teams, I wouldn't come in till the 6th, 7th inning, because I was not going to start.
Right.
But when I came on, man, I'd make every opportunity I could. Well, by the end of the fall season, we had the end. I ended up winning out the spot. And he says, "You're playing second. We're moving the second baseman over to third base, and the third baseman over short." Damn. And they moved them all over, and I had my best year. And so I ended up, I still have to this day, which is a dubious honor, but it's I have the most stolen bases in junior college ball in one season, which is 58 stolen bases. Damn. And I'm proud of that. And I'm only proud of it based on the fact that I worked hard for it. Yeah. That I gained, and I wasn't fast. My brother was fast. My brother ran a 6'5", 6'6", or something. I probably ran a 7 flat, 7'1", on a good day 6'9",
right.
if that. And but I could steal bases and I could hit, and I was a grinder, and I learned how to turn a double play like no other. And I think my work ethic and the adversity that I was put in and the emotion that I carried instilled that work ethic right there and then, and it changed the projection of no longer am I going to allow myself to be content, to be conformed, and to always do the best. Because I kind of got complacent. Everybody always told me, "You're badass, you're badass." Mm-hmm. And from then on, I just kind of moved forward. And I that adversity changed the projection of like my mentality at the beginning. I always remember that story. A lot of emotion.
Dope.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah. It's hard to hear that you're not good when you think you are,
Yeah.
At one point, and you get a reality check, and you're like, "Holy shit, I guess I'm not that good anymore."
So you've accomplished a lot of stuff.
I mean,
You have.
I have. I'm proud where I'm at right now in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. You run a lot.
I do. Yeah.
You run a lot of miles.
Yeah, a lot of miles. Yeah.
I ain't there yet. I can't do that.
I mean, do you ever? Talk about you accomplished a lot of stuff running.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of marathons out there that call them 5K, 6K, 8K. And I'm like, I'm good.
I know they were talking about a mile of burpees, but things in the sand. I said, "What?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't doing that. You crazy." But
Yeah,
maybe one day.
That was the other thing. Like we're talking about adversity. Purposely, you have to put yourself in horrible situations. I think. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes we wait to the adversity to hit us and smack us in the face, but honestly, the way we get better is actually doing something that is hard. And then creating a habit and overcoming it. And every time you do it, it's a win. It's a success story. And so I'm not a runner. As you can see, I'm a short, little, stocky guy, right? And so I don't have a runner's body. Less muscle, weighs lighter, long legs, and so on and so. So because of that, I became a runner. Because it's easy for me to lift weights. Oh yeah, let's go lift weights. Let's go do CrossFit. Let's go do something else. That's easy. But because I'm not a runner, I don't have a runner's body. I said, well, why not do marathons? Why not do that, right? To overcome adversity, to continue to feed the mind, more than anything. Because the mind is a muscle. And so at the end of the day, just like the body, you create stress on it, it grows and it gets bigger. So we're feeding the mind. So then that's where I started doing marathons. I have over 20 some marathons, some half distance marathons, 100-mile run, 24-hour runs. I created my own challenges. I did a 4x48, which is 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. From Friday 8 p.m. to like Sunday 8 p.m. You run every 4 miles every 4 hours.
Wow.
I've done that twice. I did one in Lake Arrowhead when it was snowing, super fun. I've done a mile burpee in the beach, which was pretty cool.
Oh, you did do that?
Yeah, I did the mile burpee. Yeah,
how was that? Yeah, I have to take some tips. Yeah.
Are you gonna do it?
Nah.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Somebody was putting it on,
but I do want to start doing stuff like that. Honestly, just because at the end of the day, it's like I want to feel accomplished in the sense of like the athletic mindset of it. Like I want to feel like if I just hit a home run, but I know I can't go do that
walk
no more.
off in game one like that?
Yeah, like I want to go be like Freddie Freeman, jump off the mic, but would it be a mile burpee, right? Like knowing that I never said I think I can do it.
Yeah.
But I want to go see and try. So I do want to start bringing those things up and going and like I myself got him back and Gus with this guy. Like I told him earlier, like he's literally motivated me because I took I would go work out a lot by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not so much of a by myself guy. Like I like to be part of a team and going. That's why I think we do so well here because we work well off each other. But I was like, you know what? I took a month off the gym. I was like, I'm not really motivated right now and going. And then he was like, I'm doing hardcore fitness. And I'm like, hardcore fitness. I was like, damn, you're actually doing it, right?
Take him a minute.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? You doing it? Like,
he didn't believe you.
No, he did.
Until
he shut up and saw me in the jail. I was like, come on,
man.
And
then he was like, do it. I was just like, nah. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go this day. And then I didn't go, and he hold me to that. He's like, bro, why don't you go? Like, what happened? What did you say? I was like, you know what? All right, new week, new stuff. I'm going Monday. And then but I couldn't be there Monday, but I was there Tuesday. And now it like. I haven't done a circuit in so long since like college. So it's been like 9-10 years. And I was just like, I would almost pass out the first time. The second time I was getting a little bit better. And then today was the third time. And it made me feel so like I did it. Like I did that. Yeah. So now it's like it got me back into the space of me. Like if I was out in college playing college baseball again, where it's like, I got him out. Like, knowing that he's probably a guy that could get possibly drafted, where you're like, like you start finding these little accomplishments going, and I think that's where I think we all athletes or anybody can feed off that, where it's like when you feel accomplished, you did something you didn't think you can do. It gives you that fire to go on and go do something else now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, sooner or later, everything comes to an end. Baseball career will come to an end sooner or later. College, pro, high school, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And you have to find a different purpose, right? And you have to keep moving, whatever that might be. And you got to feed the soul. And so finding your own journey is where it's at. Everybody has their own journey. My journey was like, I want to do tough shit and I want to see if I can do it. And so finding that in myself and doing little things like I did 1,000 push-ups a day for 30 days in a row. And that was crazy because my chest and my pecs and shoulders were killing me.
30,000 push-ups in a
30,000, yeah. And I went from like doing, like I would take a little bit, and then it led for me like, how quickly can I do it? And I ended up doing 1,000 in 34 minutes. Like just banging them out. But it took 2 weeks, and you couldn't recover because every day you're doing 1,000 and you're putting stress on it. But you roll and you're in pain, and then it becomes normal, right? And so the problem is that people quit too easily. People will quit because it's hard and they feel pain. And the reality of it is our body's used to taking pain. We just have to get over our mind to keep going, pushing forward. I could have stopped at 2 weeks when I was like, felt like my shoulders were gonna fall off and my chest was so tight and my back is getting curved. But then there came a point where you cross that threshold and it was like, wow. And now you just, got better. It's like, benching. I'm sure we've all like, I want to bench 250, 300, whatever that looks like. And you're at 248 and you had the 2.5 pounder. And it's like all of a sudden you added 45 pounds, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You can't do it. And you're like, why not? It's only 2.5. Well, there's a threshold.
Yeah.
And that's life right there. That's where it's made. But people will stop there. I was almost there. You were almost there, but you didn't get there. Push through it. You'll be there, but it's not going to
You
happen
almost had
overnight.
your car.
Yeah, yeah.
Toretto.
Yeah. So I
great,
think
man.
like you found, you have to find your purpose. And I think like, there's medals that you get, buckles and stuff when you do all these things. But to me, it's always been like, what can I do? Like the mile burpee, the 4x4x48, the push-ups, the little things that I want to do for myself that nobody's heard of, that I think is cool. And what I do is I love Raisinets. So I give myself a medal. I eat the Raisinets, and then I get the box, and then I create something on it and I hang it up. And that's my story. That's my journey. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need a medal, but I'll pat myself on the back and say I
Absolutely.
accomplished something
Heck yeah.
that I put myself through and didn't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
But I stuck with it, and the little things is
Yeah.
what,
Speaking of that, you got a wall of fame, right? You got a wall of fame
Yes, I do.
of student athletes that
Yeah.
go out to college?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
what is it?
Yeah, so I have a bunch of pictures of people that come to me from Daniel Flores, who trained with me.
Oh, nice.
I love Daniel. Good kid.
D-Flow.
My guy.
Yeah,
Shout out
Daniel.
to D-Flow. He'll be out here in a couple weeks, actually.
Got my twin.
Yeah. He came out with me, him and Isaiah.
Oh, okay.
Isaiah
Yeah.
played a little second base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had some of the guys and Tyler Walton and different people that I've trained up on one board. But the Wall of Fame is specifically for people that have kind of stuck with me throughout the years, trusted the process, the culture, have come to me and then moved on to a higher level, to college, whatever level. And yeah, I have like 5 kiddos on that.
Nice.
One's in Texas, the Gonzaga boys. One girl's at Cal Lu playing basketball. And it's just a commitment and where it could go if you put your mind and body to strength and fitness.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great, man. What do you got on these kids nowadays that are still stuck on Division One? I mean, you play Division One baseball.
Yeah.
And everybody has their, their fit wherever the perfect fit for you is. If it's Division 2, 3, or NAIA, or like yourself, you went to 2 years at JUCO.
Yeah.
What do you got on that? I mean, there's kids out there that are lost, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard because once again, if you go to Notre Dame, Harvard, Westlake, Crespi, some private schools here at Canyon,
Recently, yeah.
you feel that you're putting money in to right off the bat go to a 4-year university.
Right.
And that didn't happen for me. And the reality of it is that parents and students need to understand that wherever you go, it's got to fit like a glove, right? Not everything is Division 1, right, or Division 2 or Division 3. You have to I gave this advice to a kid, and he says, "Oh man, I'm nervous to go visit this school."
Right.
And I said, "Why are you nervous? They're recruiting you. You ask them the questions. This is like a date. You got to ask them the questions. They're already recruiting you. They already want you.
Yeah.
You ask them, hey coach, so and so, and you be the person that's asking the questions. Get that nervousness out. Like, oh my God, I don't know if they want me. They already want you, bro. They're inviting you over.
Right.
But my opinion is that first, money doesn't buy you a 4-year, or don't expect anything from that. Number 2 is you got to earn everything. And number 3 is don't get caught up on Division 1 or any of that stuff. Look, it's fun to talk to, and it's fun to be on ESPN and be in all that and having, getting that. That's great. It's obviously you should be thinking about the next level and the highest level of anything. Right? Division 1's the highest level. You should be having aspirations and dreams and goals to get there, right? But it doesn't mean that there's not a different road for you,
Right.
that you can get to where you want to be on another path.
Yeah.
I took the JC route, and it got me to D1. And there's other people that have gone straight to D1, D2, D3, and continued playing ball elsewhere. Everybody has their own path. And the best advice I would say is make sure that you're just not choosing something based on Instagram or your parents.
Or because it sounds nice.
What's that? Or because it sounds like,
nice.
or because the campus is good, or because no, it's got to fit financially, location, everything's got to fit. I mean, I see some of these kids that go and they just want something, and they're out playing in Illinois, or I have no idea, wherever they don't know how to pronounce the school.
The weather has a lot to do with it too.
Weather. and they just want to have that signing day that they're doing now, right? Signing day. I signed at whatever school, and then they go there and they're miserable
Yeah.
because it wasn't the right fit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't. They didn't look at it. They just wanted that signing day to look good like everybody else on Instagram. So don't be influenced by that stuff.
Yeah.
It's your decision, your life, your goals, wherever you want to go, and it's got to fit right. And it could. And a lot of people right now, you know, don't want to go the JUCO route, and it's unfortunate because it's a great avenue of saving money. You know, it's a great avenue of maturing, getting bigger, getting stronger, learning, and then growing and moving on when the time is right. Because not everybody grows at the same time,
Right.
and you could still have to develop some skills and different things, and then move on from there.
There's some good JUCOs out here.
Yeah, for sure. And I know there's some coaches or like scouts or does like that take a lot of JC guys just because they're already mature and they are stronger and all that. So a lot of schools do sometimes go take JC guys instead of guys coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to wait the 2 years or the year. They want somebody that's ready now.
Yeah.
You know, so like a lot of players don't really realize like if you go to JUCO, you start to become ready for those ready now scholarships.
Yeah.
And then you could be one of those guys. Not only that, the pro scouts and all that, you can literally get drafted out of a JC.
Oh yeah.
You know, instead of going to, you go to the 4 year, you have to be there for 2 or 3 years. Now you have to be stuck. Granted, you get an education with it. But, you know, there's always pros and cons to everything. And I went to JC myself and stuff like that. And my class, you had like 6, 7 guys get drafted and go D1, you know? So it's always different paths, but it's like, I think junior college is starting to become more popular.
Yeah.
And it, like
It's
you
coming
said,
back after COVID too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like balancing itself out again. Because after COVID hit, I mean, everyone just bounced back. Those Division I guys just go to a JUCO and it's like, watch out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And you have no idea why they're there. Some people don't take tests well, and maybe they didn't have the grades for a certain school that
Right.
wouldn't accept them. So you know, it has nothing to do with their talent. Sometimes, I mean, like you said, they get drafted from there. It's just maybe they were making bad decisions too. They weren't the right character,
Right.
you know. And then you got to mature a little bit more. And so there's a lot of reasons, and people will downsize some stuff. But man, it's free education right now. Great programs, especially in the valley and locally.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Cypress College is always putting down a good program.
Always.
You know, and so that's a good route. It's a great route to continue to grow.
whoever
Valley
came up
College
with-
has lights.
and a nice field.
Who?
Valley
College
College?
just got lights.
Oh, a nice field. Yeah, they didn't have
Nice
that
turf
before.
field.
Yeah.
They
CSUN
starting
got
to-
lights now.
CSUN
CSUN got lights.
Finally.
Friday nights at the Matador Field.
Bring your own beer.
Yeah.
Braves-
BYOB.
Yeah. Nice little Brave
Bring
Nights
your
out
own
there
hydrogen
too.
water.
yes.
But yeah, man, but I mean, oh yeah, like that.
Look at that.
Look what comes up right
Damn,
there.
dope.
See,
Daniel, what's up, bro?
Okay, look at him.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
D-Flow?
Congrats. I have a friend that goes over with you. I'll talk to you later about her name.
D-Flow's gonna get on the podcast when he comes back for I think Thanksgiving break. He said.
Yeah, for sure.
So Dodgers Yankees. I want to touch on that a little bit
Yeah.
before we end here.
Yes.
Who'd you have?
Oh, come on now.
No,
Dodgers,
don't-
baby.
Don't let this guy. Don't ask this
Why,
guy.
Yankee guy or
won't
what?
go.
Yeah,
I
no.
honestly thought I was gonna go Game 7.
Oh, you did?
I did in the
He-
beginning of it.
He walked in a Yankee fan, and woke up a Dodger fan.
Oh,
That's
all right,
That's
yeah.
just how that goes.
No. That was great. I mean, from Game 1 to Freddie Freeman taking the walk-off grand slam.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
then
think that probably could be one of the most historic
yeah.
moments
Yeah.
in a Yankee versus Dodger
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah.
Like they brought that up with the Kirk Gibson, but that's like
Yeah.
like it was a
My
you know,
a lot of props to the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Like like everyone, I mean, the starting pitchers, but the bullpen, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
what they did, what they did, not even what they did the whole, I mean, even with the in the against the Padres, I think it was an elimination game and it was a bullpen game and they won 2-0.
we were down 2-1.
Yeah. And it was just from there, boom.
Yeah, it was good to see the manager also leave and Trenton when he went and talked to him and said, "You got one more?" And he's like, "I got it." And because he's usually a numbers guy, analytical guy. And it was good to see him leave him in and give him the trust and all that. And I mean, the Dodgers were, it's a great thing about momentum. in those times as well, and how people step up, during hard times. My brother's coach Andy Lopez at one time says, "Hey, big on big." Big on big. And so those were big moments, and the guys that stepped up were the bullpen that came in and shut the door on. I mean, on what Stanton, Stanton and Judge.
That was that talk when he just tapped him in the chest.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yes.
there it is.
And that was a moment where we were like, do you take him out or do you leave him in? And I am 100%. Blake Triton's got the nastiest stuff that Dodgers got.
God. So nasty.
He's the most nastiest guy they had.
Yeah.
You
What,
don't
you saying
put
leave him
no
in
one
or-
else in. You leave him in. Because no one else can do what he
I
could
think I
have
told
done.
my brother, like, take him out.
Like, because his stuff is filthy. Granted, if he controls it, but he's shown that he can.
I mean, you struck out Rizzo,
in big
right?
moments.
To end that inning.
Yeah. With the slider down and in, that was a frisbee, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's
I
got
think-
nasty. He's got so much nasty stuff that he's got to go, like, I got to start it way outside in order for it to be a strike or even. I mean, it's
Right.
nasty.
Yeah.
Movement is nasty on
And
it.
he was out for 2 years before that.
So they go down 5-0. I leave my house.
Yeah,
I
he
was
did.
like, I'm gonna go pick up my son, blah blah blah, and then I get the alerts. I was like 5-1, and I was like, all right, let me turn this back on. 5-3. I'm like, oh man, what's going on? 5-5. Aaron Judge took his eyes off the baseball. Right run on first base. I don't know what he was thinking. And then you got
Volpe.
Volpe throws it.
Throws it.
5-6
Catcher's interference.
Oh, it was a catcher interference.
Another one
with
with catcher's interference.
Otani. Look at that. Beautiful
there
side.
was
There was a
also-
catcher interference in that inning too.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Otani.
Oh my.
And then there was the
God.
miss first, nobody covering.
Yeah, it didn't
And then
get
there was
over.
Bach.
Yeah.
The Bach.
Remember the Bach?
So there you go. They
And
didn't
then,
get over.
And then he didn't get over.
So I told my brother, I guess, I said, you can't pick over, so you can only pick over twice. On the third one, you better get him. That's the rule, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was pick over twice or you can't throw anymore.
No, you
if
you
you
can
throw it-
You have to get him out.
You have
I
to
see.
get him
Okay,
out.
okay.
You have to get him
So
out. Yeah.
they picked over twice, and I'm going, well,
Because he stepped off and that was it.
you know what I mean? Like, oh, steal. I mean,
Yeah.
let's go. And he picked over. I'm like, well, what is that, a balk now? Like, you got to take second? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's just snowballed on them.
Funny story. So I'm training some of your boys.
Yeah. JJ
And
was
your
there.
brother's there.
Yeah.
And some of the other parents, because we're watching while we're training. I'm like, hey, if you're taking a break, watch the TV. If you're grinding, get through it, then watch the TV, watch the game. And your brother was in a certain spot, and I was in a certain spot.
He didn't
All the
move from
parents.
there the whole time.
Yeah. So we scored our first right air, so and so. Your brother's. Everybody go back to the same spot. All right, we scored again. Go back to. I'm like, Chewy, you got to move though. These kids got to do this thing. All right, I moved to this corner right here. And then as soon as it was over, he was gone. I think you guys went to your house, or your dad's house, or somebody.
Yeah.
And it was superstitious.
Superstitious,
You know,
yeah.
like just don't move. You know,
Yeah.
we're coming back. You know.
Yeah, that was
It
great,
cool.
man.
It was a
That
good time right there.
Yeah,
That time.
that was great. Shout out to the Dodgers for getting it done finally. Finally, I mean, 2020 was great, but this one felt a little different.
Yeah.
It
It hit different. For sure.
That parade, man, was one of a kind. I'll tell you that. Being at the stadium and
Stadium was
the
great celebration.
atmosphere with
Yeah.
everything, it was just one of those where it was like, it felt united. It felt like
Yeah, it felt good.
it felt like we were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't feel like we got lucky or if it, no, it felt like dude, we went through everybody, the
Right.
Padres, the Mets, the Yankees.
Well, Kika said it best, right?
And with
You know.
injuries. We didn't
Yes.
have what is it, Gonsolin. We didn't have the other pitcher.
Yeah, there's a couple guys out.
Yeah, May, and then the other starter that we lost,
Tyler Glass now.
Glass now, or Kershaw. Right, we didn't have any of
Yeah.
those guys.
None of those guys. That's why the bullpen came in clutch.
And then May was injured too, and I mean there was injuries, and then Freddie Freeman was getting better. Otani jacked up his shoulder at one point.
that was-
I mean, it was a united. You know, that's what's called teamwork.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
that's it. At the end of the day, everybody doing their job.
Yeah, and
You
Dave
know.
Roberts, man,
Edmund-
did a great job in the clubhouse.
Absolutely.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
You
job.
can tell, like, as soon as they Otani hit his 50-50 and had 10 RBIs, and they have, champagne. I'm like, okay. And then just hearing his speeches, like him talk.
Yeah.
And then they clinched the playoffs and they clinched the division and did all that. It wasn't like he's like 11 more or whatever, 8 more. And you can hear in his voice that he was really determined to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, man. I'm happy that this generation, because I was a young kid when I saw them in '88 win, and some of the younger kids now, when I was that age, gets to see a really true victory in 2024. Even though 2020s are
Yeah.
still a
Yeah, it's
championship,
ours.
but
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
now
This
it's
guy's
good,
right
you
here.
know?
Yeah, these guys right here. But you know what? No,
yeah.
At the end of the day, you still got to play 60
You
games
still
of
got-
baseball.
you
That's
still
still
gotta-
hard to do.
You still got to pitch, hit, and
Everybody
take care
did
of
the
it.
same. Yeah.
But
exactly.
yeah, I mean, sharing it with my dad was great. At the celebration, he's recording the whole thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
Dad, come on, like enjoy it.
Like a kid.
Yeah, he's
Everybody with
recording
a
the whole thing, recording the whole celebration at the stadium.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
dope.
It felt good, man. Like my mom, I got 10 brothers and sisters, so my mom wanted
baseball
to.
team right here.
Well,
Yeah.
she was determined to
Yeah.
have a baseball team, and
Yeah.
granted I have 6 sisters, 3 brothers, so but she named one of my brothers Fernando because of Fernando Valenzuela.
Oh, wow.
So when he passed and everything, to be able to celebrate that right there with my mom and with my brother Fernando. In the house, that the victory and all that kind of was a moment that I would forever cherish, just because of how much my mom absolutely loves baseball. Like everyone would say, my dad this and all that, but it was my mom. My dad loved soccer. Like that was his thing. So he didn't really come out to much of our games, if any, but she was there. She made it all happen for all 10 of us to play baseball and softball. And, I think that's where it was that moment where you go and you realize like all those years that they were talking about the Dodgers, and for them to come out and do it, and you celebrate with those people that made you the Dodger fans and love the game.
Yeah.
It's always the best feeling.
Yeah, 100%. That's a lot. That's props to your mom. It's a lot of kids to take to places and raise and stuff. So.
Yeah, well, that's when you have older ones. You work together. So
That's
like
true.
my
You learn how
oldest,
to work together.
yeah, my oldest brother could
Hopefully
be.
they're cool.
Right?
Get over here.
Yeah.
My oldest brother can be my dad, so
Yeah.
he's 19 years older than me. So but my sisters as well. Like
Yeah.
I was the fortunate where it was like, hey, can you take him
Yeah.
here? Can you take? And all of them were like, fine, okay, even though they didn't like it, but
Oh yeah.
we did it. But yeah, it was man, it's a special moment to where you bring a lot of the city together as well.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, they did it, because man, what was it, like 2 million people out there? I think it was over 2
Something like that.
million.
Yeah. From start to
Start to
finish.
end.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
that's a
sure,
lot.
especially after 10 hours later at the bars. And
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, Cesar, man, thank you so much for coming. We're coming to an end here. This was great. I know we took forever, but we were interrupted by the Dodgers and the celebrations. I mean, thank you. This was amazing.
Thank you guys. I appreciate
Yeah.
you. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it, man. It's been a blast having a conversation and just some good dialogue. So
Yeah, shout
for sure.
out to my brother for making it happen. Yeah, he was like, "Hey, we gotta get Cesar in there." I was like, all right, let's get him. Get
appreciate him. I
Get
appreciate
him in
him a
here.
lot.
Get him in
Yeah.
here, man. So we're gonna hit you with some rapid questions real quick.
Oh, rabbit.
Let's do it. Pitch clock. Pitch clock or no pitch clock?
Pitch clock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
Second
Yeah. Favorite second baseman of all time.
Ooh, favorite second baseman, Cesar Martinez. No, I'm just kidding. I like Ryan Sandberg.
Oh, man,
that's-
Cubbies.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Sandberg.
Okay. Pitch calm or no pitch calm?
No
They
pitch
use
calm.
them. No pitch calm.
Nope.
Straight,
I love the
straight signs.
I love the signs.
You love the signs,
especially
man.
as like a guy who steals. I love to pick off stuff and
Look
get
at that.
there. You know,
Look at that.
hell
Love
yeah!
it.
Now you can. You know? Yeah, yeah.
Now you gotta go
Man,
test
okay.
the game.
DH or no DH?
No DH.
No
let
DH.
Let the pitcher hit and do that. Yeah.
Got it. Dodger game, nachos or Dodger dog?
Dodger dog always. Yeah, you know the nachos are good.
Yeah, I don't think I've gone to Dodger Stadium. I have a Dodger dog.
Oh, you got it.
Now they got the Korean
with
barbecue
nachos.
chicken.
Yeah, Dodger
I'm
dog.
all
baby.
over that Korean barbecue chicken.
I know. Yeah, we had that at the parade.
What do you get?
the
That at
stadium.
the high level places or what?
No, come on now.
Never that.
I've never seen it in the blue seats. I'm just kidding.
In the reserve,
Korean, like
top deck.
Where's that stuff that they're showing on TV?
But yeah, now we'd love to present with you with your with our own Braves baseball. Braves baseball. Braves
Ball
podcast, Ball 4 podcast hat.
Thank
so
you so
you
much.
can have
Yeah.
one of your own, and then wear it if you want to wear it.
Oh hell
you know.
yeah!
Yeah.
Thank you
So-
so much. I appreciate
Yeah.
it, man. Thank you for having me on here and just kind of reliving some of the experiences and things that I've had from long time ago. And it's a blessing, obviously, to have you guys' kiddos out there and instilling
Yeah.
a little bit of myself in them. And you guys are doing an amazing job. Obviously, it's been proven through. You guys have been around for a long time, and then having this platform and bringing the people on here, and what you
Yeah.
guys are doing is amazing. So
Yeah,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody who's doing something to give back to the kids.
Yeah.
Rox Arroyo, David Luz,
Yeah.
Tori, everybody who can give back. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Because my time's done. It's been done for a minute. And if we could just give a little bit back and they can get to the next level, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. And do you, have an Instagram or anything that they
Yeah.
want to find you on? Maybe to ask you if they want to go and do some strength
Yeah,
and
yeah.
conditioning
Hopefully they
stuff.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's UAG Fit on Instagram. I don't have a Facebook. Same thing for UAG Fit for TikTok, and I'm also on Can't Be Broken for the podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can't be
Well, there you
broken.
guys have it. So, but yeah, don't forget to like the podcast, the stream. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notifications button, just so you guys know when we're going live. Then again, appreciate it. Thank you to Cesar. Thank you guys out there for watching. And yeah, if you guys want to check them out, go ahead and do that. And on to the next one.
Episode 26.
Yes, sir.
We out. Thank you, everyone.
We out.